Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I've got two things. I want to see Interspace go to Japan Expo because I think it'd be hilarious to see Teddy struggle with French.
Oh.
I'd pay to see that.
Okay.
Second, Maison Close should come to Space Channel because it's amazing and hilarious and wonderful and it's French
What was
content.
that?
Maison Close.
I don't know this.
Maison
What is
Close?
this?
It's like a French TV show. You should look it up.
Okay.
It involves whores. Yeah, it means whorehouse.
Okay.
But it's kind of it's edgy
Maybe
and
late night on
sci-fi-ish
Space
and
then. After 11 on Space, Maison Close, an encore presentation. Huh?
We could have a whole new channel, call it Space Blue. Okay.
Reruns of Torchwood. Fit in. Yeah.
I know you guys are doing the simulcast on the 23rd, but will it be shown later on the 23rd as well for us awful people that work?
No. From
I don't
what
have
I
one.
understand, I think it will just be a one-time broadcast, which has some ups and downs. Yes, if you're not there and you don't have a PVR, you
I don't
will
have
miss it.
cable.
But
Okay. I don't
some
know
of it
what's
might
going.
be online. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. This.
We were
is
going to
cor-
show it at the bar that I work at in the
Okay.
evening because no one comes on Saturdays, so they just said I could show all the nerdy things.
Okay. Well, a whole bunch of things to talk about in terms of the simulcast. One, it is being shown in various theaters, and it will be shown on the 25th. And some people have told me it's going to be on the 27th as well. So you have 23rd, 25th, 27th.
But spoilers.
And then the other really wacky thing is, and at Reverse Polarity, a room full of Doctor Who fans, I kept having to say, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. Is it going to have commercials? Is it going to be commercial free? We don't know. How long is it? We don't know. I just literally 2 hours ago found out it was 75.
With this series, I mean, rightfully so, are so withholding of information. We will tape episodes of Interspace, I'm letting you in on the secret now, where we will do sometimes two versions of a take where we have discussion, blah, 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 based on whether or not we are have permission to reveal certain information or not. And then when we're in the editing room, waiting at like 5 o'clock at night before the last second to push it to go to air, we have to make the change. Oh, okay, we got the permission. It's just sometimes, I understand their secrecy, but yeah, they don't
Well,
tell
it's
us
their
everything.
flagship show.
Yeah.
They know that fans all over the world are plugged in. And so if something is said on BBC America, within nanoseconds, people are asking us, well, the BBC America says it's going to be at 2:50 on set. Well, we can't say because we're getting the program from BBC Worldwide, and we can't say anything until they say something. And I've been told that I'm not allowed to investigate what's going on with Doctor Who, which is very difficult because I have friends who write the show and I know a lot about the show, and I want to, I don't want to be spoiled, but I
We
want.
got the most stern email from our boss
Yeah.
telling us not to tell anyone that we've already seen the trailer.
But we haven't, AJ.
No.
We have not. No.
It wasn't awesome either.
No.
You guys are terrible people.
He's going to get me into so much trouble.
You guys, if you want me to come back to Hal-Con, we'll just keep that between us. It doesn't leave this room. It comes out tomorrow. What's the big deal?
Hi. Back to the question, or back to talking about reruns. What determines what shows you guys bring back?
Ratings and analyticals and guys in offices looking at numbers based on popularity of things. Also consider this, that new TV shows are in HD, and if you're bringing it back something that was, done in the 90s and any time beforehand, it's just not going to look all that good anymore, and people might be more apt to change the channel to find something that's in HD. But when it comes to programming, it's always a sense of like CanCon and ratings. Is it Canadian? Will some people watch it, and does it fit our mandate of things, and then does it have a passionate enough following? If you look at the lineup on Space right now, there aren't very many reruns of anything that is older than, like 2005? I mean, we still have Stargate, Voyager. Well, those are our bread and butter.
Yeah.
People will always be watching Voyager. There was still a time where, our lead-in is Voyager to Interspace, and it still sometimes does better numbers than Interspace. A brand new show with new content for you that was made that day. More people are like, nope, I'm going to go watch something else after watching this episode of Voyager I've seen 16 times already.
It's the Garrett Wong love. It's
Yeah.
the Garrett Wong love.
You know, very talented guy. Here he does impressions.
And let's be honest, a lot of it comes down to individual programmers. And since I've been there, the first programmer was Esme Benny, which was great because everybody said, there's some white guy making all kinds of choices about space. Couldn't have been further from the truth. Lila Miklosh was our programmer for a number of years. Now it's kind of a team of people who sit around a table and discuss programming. But a lot of it is that, I know this is going to sound like Hollywood, but it's Doctor Who is doing really well for us. What's like Doctor Who? And I'm always the guy in the room going, that's it. There's Doctor Who and nothing else, which is the answer they never want. But the other thing that's interesting, television changes all the time. So what I'm telling you now might be different in 2 weeks. But right now, the standalone shows, if you watch a show that begins at the top of the hour and gets solved in an hour, like Castle, like Voyager, like a lot of classic Star Trek, those shows do really, really well. And shows like Babylon 5 and X-Files, which have a mythology, an overarching mythology, or Lost for that matter. Lost did unbelievably well for space when it was coming out, but you can't rerun it because nobody cares and nobody will watch it. Because if they really cared, they bought it on DVD or they downloaded it. Same thing with the X-Files. I know I've got all 9 box sets sitting in my room, so why would I watch it on space? So that becomes a really difficult thing. And a really cool show like Babylon 5 that I think kind of should be on space right now isn't for a whole bunch of complex reasons. One, as AJ said, it's not in HD. 2, it's a big arc show. And 3, 3.
Not enough
I don't
people
know.
will watch it.
Yeah.
It's just
And
the
that
sad
basically
reality.
is what it comes down to. And to make a show, by the way, if you're going to buy a show that has 9 seasons, that's a huge financial commitment. So I think what we might see in the next, and this is just me guessing, there's a lot of programming that's going to be 6 episodes or 10 episodes. And off the record, I can tell you, I have been lobbying so hard for space to get Sherlock. I'm just. And they said, but you're the guy who didn't want Castle. Why would you want Sherlock? It's different. Again, you see, I think that I should just have a T-shirt that when they ask me, I just say, it's different. What about Sherlock? It's different. What about Doctor Who? It's different.
Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
I have like 2 quick questions. One's for both of you, one's just for you.
Okay.
The one for both of you is, they're just random questions, is if you could be like any mystical thing, like vampire or anything, because you were
Right.
talking about because of space and stuff, what would you be?
Oh, that's a really tough question.
Probably be like the Silver Surfer, I think.
He's not a mythical being.
Why can't I be
Norton
like-
Rad is not a mythical being.
I don't know.
He counts.
Okay.
He counts?
Yeah.
I just want to explore like the universe, you know? I guess I'd be like the Doctor then, you know? But I just thought like,
Yeah.
the TARDIS is pretty cool, but a silver surfboard is pretty awesome. You know? Yeah, that's my thing. Otherwise, like, I don't know. If it's between, you know, werewolves and vampires and that sort of thing, probably the vampire. I was kind of gothy in high school. It worked. I don't know.
A typical producer, I would probably pick something like Druid or Wizard. I want somebody else to go and fight the battles. I want somebody else to be known as being the great hero, and I'll just mix up some concoction in the back room. I'm fine with that.
Thanks, Mark.
You go out and fight the tough fight.
I'll zip around the universe on my surfboard. Go for it.
And my other one, this is probably the most random question you ever hear, but if you and like everyone that you work with at space were like in a Hunger Games situation,
Oh, man.
Oh, like who would win? Is this what you're gonna ask?
kinda,
Yeah?
kind of more like, who do you think you kill first?
Okay.
I got a good answer.
Okay.
You know what? Because if you watch the show, I'm logical, I'm strategic. I would probably kill Nigel. I hate saying that. Nigel is the sweetest guy, but he's a big guy. He works out. And I think by killing Nigel, it would send a message to the rest of the crew. You don't mess with me. I just killed the one that everyone loves.
Yeah.
I think that would be my strategy. Why did I just say that? That is so weird.
See, But that's not true, because AJ's a community builder, and there's a bunch of people in the office who would form an allegiance. And I think Cam would be on that
will never
side.
work out, though, because by the end, you've all got to kill one another.
Well, I know, but it would begin as allegiances.
I don't know. I'm more of a lone wolf.
Okay.
You're not invited
I'll have
to
a
the pack,
team.
Mark.
I'll have a team.
Lone wolves die first, just saying.
Yeah, I know. It's the wrong strategy, probably.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nigel's going to see this, and I'm going to... Hi, doctor.
Hi. So my question is, when you got the thingy that said you got the job, how did you feel?
At Space?
Yeah.
Actually, a big mixture of emotions, because I had, prior to working at Space, as you might remember, though looking at you, you might have been too young to remember, to be honest. Some of the people in this audience remember. I was on YTV for 2 years hosting Saturday mornings. Thanks. Which I loved. I had so much fun there. It was, my introduction into the world of TV, and essentially, I got to do whatever I want. I wrote what I did on that show. I came up with all the characters. I made animations. I was just having a grand time there. But on my very first day at YTV, my producer took me aside and said, AJ, do this job for 2 years, and then if another opportunity comes up, whatever it is, take it. And then, of course, as I was approaching my 2 years at YTV, the audition notice came out for Space, and what they were looking for a host sounded like they had just taken my biography, my resume, and removed my name from it and posted it and said, we're looking for someone like this. So it wasn't just the first thing that came along. It was like the perfect thing to move on to that came along. So when I got the offer, it was one of like, whoa, what do I do? Kind of thing. And the work that I did at first was very different than what I was doing at YTV.
Let's tell them about your very first gig at Space.
Well, it was
we worked together, actually.
Mark and I and our producer, supervising producer, I said it right then, Michelle went down to San Diego Comic-Con. So I went literally from like hosting a show in a studio in Toronto where the biggest celebrity I'd ever interviewed was Robert Munch, who was amazing, by the way. Couldn't have picked a better first celebrity. He was one of my idols growing up. And then I was on a red carpet interviewing The Rock, Mark Wahlberg, Paris Hilton, Keanu Reeves, Jennifer Connelly, the list.
The stars of Watchmen.
Yeah, the whole entire cast of Watchmen was there, just all the big movie
Frank
stars.
Miller's Sin City.
Yeah, everyone. It was mind-blowing. It was a very different experience, but it's led me to awesome things like coming out to Hal-Con and going to Vancouver and going to the set of Harry Potter and all sorts of stuff. And now the show that we do, I get to talk with Teddy and Morgan, and we get the 5-minute, and do all that sort of stuff. So it's been awesome. But to be totally honest, it was a weird feeling of like, oh, I've got to say goodbye to something that I really, really love and move on to something that is a big risk, but I might really love it too. So and my advice to you is if that situation ever comes up, take the risk.
All right, actually, another question just popped into my head, which is, what is, out of all the shows on Space, your favorite?
Orphan Black. I also watch Face Off religiously. Anyone else watching that show? That was one of those things really quickly where they said, oh, we're getting a reality show. And I went, oh, no. I'm going to have to talk about a reality show. What is it? It's special effects makeup. Oh, how could that be interesting? It's going to be so boring. And then you see the stuff that these guys do, and it's phenomenal. And the show is really about them helping one another. The drama is like, oh, no, he hurt his finger. Quick, everyone, help him. What other reality show? It's like it was done in Canada, because everyone's just ready to lend a hand. We work as a team. Let's help out. And, the 5th season just wrapped up. I interviewed one of the contestants finally, and I just geeked out with him, asking about all the behind-the-scenes stuff. But so dramatically, Orphan Black, hands down. And then otherwise, Face Off is another really good one.
Mine would be Doctor Who, followed by Orphan Black.
There you go.
Hal-Con.